Well, let's see if everything is actually working. I hope it is. I'm checking these out. Let me check the stream itself. Let's check. What is happening? Am I live? Do I even know I'm live? Okay. It seems that we may be live. Yeah. We are live. Woohoo, okay. So, monitoring here and monitoring there. So, I'm going to wait for a little bit until everyone joins in. I don't want to actually be here blabbering to myself for a while, but while we have a lot of questions, so for everyone joining in or watching this later, hello. This is another live stream. This is a special live stream. I already am seeing some familiar faces. Hello, Chun-Chi. Sorry if I butchered your name. So hello. I'm going to actually say hello. And this is a special live stream. I'm really a noob when it comes to live streams. You already know I'm a noob. This is my second live stream, so I'm trying to do my best here. I hope you guys enjoy it. This is going to be a 2-hour live stream, but feel free to hop in and out if you want to, and if you don't have the time to watch everything. Hello, Jeannie. Hello. And thank you very much for the congrats. It was tough, but we reached those 1,000 subs. Whew, it took almost 4 years. It was a lot. So it took a while, but we got there. And the good part is that we actually managed to get there, thanks to all of you, of course. So we are here. I don't know if the sound is okay. Let me know in the chat if the sound is okay, because last time I had double audio going on, so I hope this time around I don't have double audio. And I'm going to answer your questions or say hello to everyone in the chat. Hello and welcome. And yeah, Chun-Xie. Okay, so the name is almost Chinese or Chinese. Chun-Xie. Okay, sorry because I really butcher names all the time, so I hope that's not that big of a problem. But yeah, I see you around a lot of times, so I do know your username, but I didn't know how to pronounce it, so apologies. Yeah. Oh, Jeannie, I would love 10,000 subs, but first we need the 4,000 hours of watch time, which is tougher. I believe it is tougher. But yeah, hello everyone. Welcome. It is fun to have you all around and to join me for this live stream. As you can see, I'm a bit nervous, but the nervousness will go away rather fast, I believe. Right now I have one screen right here, another screen right here, and another screen right there. So I'm monitoring myself and seeing myself triple, which is weird. And basically watching a blank screen right now because I have the questions that some of you sent to me. And I have some topics that would be interesting to watch with or talk with you all. So seeing as we do not have any problems with the sound, thankfully, and we do not have any problems with the image, also thankfully, so this is going without a hitch, which is too good to be true. It's time to hop in and to let everyone know, in case some of the people joining do not know what this is all about, or celebrate the 1,000 subscribers here on the channel. This was a big milestone because the channel is around for 4 years. I create a lot of content, but the content not always is that massive in terms of views or in terms of bringing in followers, so it took a while. But I believe that we finally got what was in some way deserved, because a lot of work and not many people actually watching was a bit sad to see. But at the same time, I know that the very few people that are watching and that are using or learning from the content that I'm creating are really happy about it. So in one way, it was sad to not have those 1,000 subscribers in one way. And in the other, I was really happy having very few, but good. You know, people that actually want to learn, that actually want to know more, that actually are curious about what I create and what I talk about, because that's the main focus. So that's a big milestone that we have to celebrate here. At the same time, the hand that feeds HQ, the website from which this YouTube channel stems and the podcast seiyuu Lounge also stems, is now 14 years old. It's a big milestone. I'm getting old. It's 14 years. Even yesterday, I was talking with a friend and saying, well, Hosoyo Yoshimasa was saying that he's celebrating his 20th anniversary as a voice actor. And I start wondering, wow, when I started following seiyuu, he was actually really new in the industry. So it is crazy looking back and knowing that I've been following this industry for so long. And it's been the longest I've been following something really passionate about. So it is a testament at how much I love this. And it is crazy. Hello, Julia. I see you in the chat. You're almost on time. You're always on time. Do not worry. And at the same time, this is also going to be a chill talk with you all. It's 2 hours, so we have a lot to talk about. We have really interesting questions to talk about as well. And I've got 2 topics that I want to talk about as well, related to male seiyuu. And of course, this is going to be a live stream in which you can talk to me, you can leave questions if you want, you can lurk if you want, no problem whatsoever. I'm also a lurker for many of the channels that I love, so no problem here. And of course, feel free to participate if you feel comfortable. So this is what this stream is going to be all about. And now I'm going to leave the chat open for any questions that you have, any questions that may come up to you while I'm talking, and answering some of the questions that were sent to me in the form that I prepared a couple of days ago. So I do know that many people didn't have time to even think about questions to leave there. It was a bit done on rushed because I finally am okay to talk. Because in case some of you didn't notice or didn't follow the community tab, I had to remove my wisdom teeth and it hurt a lot. And I took 1.5 months between 2 surgeries to actually recover and to speak again without any issues and pain. I still have a bit of pain, but I can speak well, as you may have noticed. So no problem whatsoever. So we have a couple of questions here. I'm going to start with a question, and then I'm going to hop on the live chat and read your questions. And I'm going to do that so that we can participate together, and you can also check the questions that were sent. So the first question was sent by I. And I says, hey Vanessa, first time sending a question. Congratulations on the Hand That Feeds HQ's 14th anniversary and 1,000 subs. On the side, I was one of the people who recently subscribed to the channel. Congrats, and also thank you very much for helping. I've got a question. In the merch video, you shared a lot of things that you own. Have you been collecting merch for a long time? Sorry if this was answered in the video. Also, is that all the merch that you have? Thanks, and once again, congrats. Well, the merch video took a long time to create. It was a suggestion by ML, one of the patrons on this channel, or of the Hand That Feeds HQ. And ML actually shared that question in a post that I made about some of my precious merchandise that I own. For example, right now I'm using the Soma Saito t-shirt that I talked about in that video. I do own a lot of merch. You saw a snippet of what I own, which is to say, it is a lot. I own almost 200 different items, from very small things to CDs and Blu-rays. Actually, I noticed when I was editing the video that I didn't share anything about the Blu-rays that I own. And those are a lot, live Blu-rays. So I didn't share that, and I forgot to share that. At the same time, I do own a really big collection of posters. More posters than I could have in this room right now. And this room is not necessarily big, but I could cover all the walls in this room, and basically I would still have some posters left. So I do have the posters that, for example, those magazines that I shared with you actually come up with. They have some posters there. And at the same time, I also own other posters that I purchased. Some posters that are exclusive from Tower Records when some seiyuu artists release CDs, and those are exclusive to Japan. So I actually had to come up with a proxy to actually get those posters and to actually get those in my hands, because otherwise I wouldn't get those anytime soon. So I'm really happy that I have those, but I feel that I've collected so many posters that it would be impossible if I owned a house to actually have them all for everyone to see, and not any still remain to post, basically. I have too many. I believe they are, at least I can see those. I have those wrapped in a bookshelf, but they are many. For example, I have I believe 20 at least there, and I have many more. But those are mostly posters of Soma Saito or Yumu Uchida, or Quartet Night or Trigger. So those are basically posters or related to CDs or from magazines or special editions of something that I purchased through proxy, basically. Hello, wow. A separate Blu-ray discussion episode coming. Pretty sure that there would be enjoyers of it. I hope so. I would love to do that, and I believe that maybe I can do that by Christmas time, to celebrate the 4,000 watch hours. Because I believe that if we keep up these, we are going to get those watch hours before Christmas, and then I can do that video for you. Or basically, if I find some time, I may create it earlier. Let's see. So yeah, I do own a lot of merch. Since when I've been collecting the merch? I started following Male Seiyuu on and off since 2010. That's when I created the Hand That Feeds HQ. It was initially a website in which I reviewed music, all types of music, not necessarily only Male Seiyuu artists or 2D. But I created a website around that time, but I didn't purchase merch until 2014. Those CDs that I shared in the merch video, the ones from Daisuke Namikawa, Daisuke Ono, and Toshiki Toyonaga, they were purchased around that time, 2014, or a couple of years later. And those were the very first, let's say, merch that I got, because a CD is actually merch in some way. So I did get those around 2014. I should say that I am collecting merch from Male Seiyuu and 2D music groups since 2014, which is now 10 years. I was now checking the date, and yeah, it's been 10 years collecting things. So I have a lot. For example, the t-shirts that you saw, I only started collecting t-shirts from around 2020. I felt that up until then, I didn't need t-shirts because why bother? But since I created the channel, I wanted to show awesome t-shirts and show awesome t-shirts by Male Seiyuu and 2D groups. And I found some to have really cool designs, and I thought, well, I need to get those. I need to share those, and I need to show people that actually, when you are supporting Male Seiyuu or 2D groups, you actually are supporting cool things. And those t-shirts are a good example of that. So yeah, I've been collecting merch for a long time. So thank you very much for your comment. And now, back to the comments. Oh, Enfiologia. Parabéns. She says, for those of you that don't speak Portuguese, parabéns is congrats. Obrigada, Enfiologia. And that's a bit of Portuguese for today. You have a bit of a Portuguese lesson here. Obrigado means thank you. And I may create that video. And Jeannie, I can do a part 2. Yeah. Jeannie, you and Ao are on the same wavelength. I may create that video, don't worry. And Unwelcome says they liked the video. And also Jeannie says, Aopella live reaction. Well, if you send in something during the review advent calendar to review a song by Aopella, actually, I will review Aopella live. Live, not to say, I can't review live because of copyright. I can review in a video that is worked behind the scenes. This is a really messy thing because I wanted and I thought about creating that because I was thinking, well, since the Hand That Feeds HQ is celebrating the 14th anniversary, it would be really cool to actually do a corner in which I am reviewing music live. But then I remembered, if I review music live, I get the copyright strike, so the channel is banned immediately, so I can't do that. So how can I review music live, let's say? You actually have to send in the suggestion when the form for the review advent calendar opens, and I will review that song, and then I will have to work the video in a way that it doesn't get flagged and it doesn't get removed by YouTube. So I have to counter YouTube's rules in a way, but doing so respecting laws. So to respect laws, I cannot review music live, but I can review that in a video in which the music is only 5 or 3% of the whole video. That's why I talk a lot in the reviews, in the review advent calendar, because if I don't talk a lot, the video is copyright struck and my channel goes away. So I do not want that at all. But I will do that if you send in the suggestion. I know that you have been talking about a lot about Aopella. I want to talk about Aopella. I want to cover Aopella. But in a way, I don't know if it is just a region thing going on in here. But in my Spotify, I do not have Aopella's 5.5 CD, nor Aopella's 6 CD. So I cannot review those because it is nowhere to be found, at least legally. And we now have Aopella 5, so I'm going to review Aopella 5, which has King of Vox by Vedlip, that you may know already because the song was released 2 years ago. So I'm going to review that CD, but I'm not going to review right now 5.5 or 6 because those songs are nowhere to be found on YouTube Music or even on Spotify. I do not know why, but since they changed hands from K-Lab to Marvelous, their music is nowhere to be found. So that's a lot of problems going on in there because the music is less accessible right now, which is a pity because I love Aopella. I want to talk about Aopella. I want to cover Aopella, but I'm not going to purchase the physical CDs because I'm not collecting those CDs. So it is tricky because the music that I love a whole lot and I want to collect, I collect. Of course, I purchase this. There's no problem whatsoever. Actually, there is. My wallet will start weeping and I need to budget because I'm not rich. But in a way, I can handle that. So not always I will be purchasing CDs, so I can save some money, let's say. But since Aopella's music is not necessarily on my Spotify region, beyond the CD that is the 5, which was released 2 years ago, it's a bit tricky to review the music from the franchise if it's not available. So that's a big problem in there. So yeah. Oh, Jeannie, I believe you will share a lot. And believe me, if not many people will be participating in that review advent calendar, maybe you will be getting 1 or 2 songs of that franchise in specific reviewed, but assuming that we have a direct link for an official source for me to review the music. And right now, it's not available on YouTube, beyond the music video, and it's not available on Spotify, which is crazy, yes, again. But yeah, Aopella is really tricky. Yeah, I see you, Unwelcome. It's really, really hard to find legally. And I was thinking, well, I always tell you that you can find music on Ototoy. Ototoy is a platform in which you can get basically digital downloads which are official, and I'm not paid to say these. I just use that a lot. Even a couple of weeks ago, I was purchasing a lot of music from the Dig Rock franchise because finally some of the CDs missing from the Dig Rock franchise for me are there, so I had to purchase those. But I do tend to purchase digital music from there because the quality is good. I'm supporting directly the artists, but not even there. We get the music from the Aopella franchise, so where can I find it legally? I'm not going to purchase the physical CD that is not even available in some stores for international fans. So it is crazy. At least I would love for Marvelous to be a bit more open about that and making the music. Since this is so weird because the franchise was so open to international fans when it started because of K-Lab being an international company, that I find it so weird how when they shifted to Marvelous, they started to be so Japan-centric that the music stopped being shared at the same time with international fans. It was weird. The music was no longer available to purchase. It is crazy. The CDs are exclusive to their store. It's a mess. I believe it's a mess in terms of organization, especially when you create a franchise and you create a franchise with the aim to reach a lot of people, because a cappella music can reach a lot of people. It's a joy to listen to because it is the power and the beauty of the voice only. So anyone can relate to that. Anyone can listen to that. It's not a matter of genre. It's not a matter of I don't like heavy guitars or I don't like the drums or I don't like a trombone. It's a matter of it's a voice. People like voices. And a cappella music has the potential to reach a lot of people. But I don't understand how Marvelous actually approached that franchise when they got their hands on it since Caleb left. So I find it weird. I would love to review the music of in the Aupella franchise with more frequency and on time, but it's not easy when the CDs take too long to be available. Same thing with the Dig Rock franchise as of late, so we have a problem in there. But yeah, we have a couple of comments in here, so let's check them out. Ao says, Christmas Advent Calendar series will probably also help with the watch hours a lot. I know I recommend those to people not knowing the hand that feeds HQ too, so looking forward to those and the raise in watch hours. I'm hoping so. Those tend to raise a little bit, but since the watch hours are from 365 days, which is to say 1 year, when it reaches the time those videos appear, I may have lost a couple of watch hours from some videos in the previous year that were really, really good. So it is tricky, but I hope that I get those watch hours by that time. I'm hoping. And if I get, I'm going to do that live stream around Christmas or a couple of days after Christmas. Dig Rock, yeah, Dig Rock. I'm going to talk about Dig Rock in this episode or in this live stream because there was a question about it. So I'm going to talk about Dig Rock a little bit later. And Welcome says, I want to participate in the review Advent Calendar, but I don't know what artists get copyright. Most of my suggestions is about Shunichi Toki. And Welcome, I'm going to share something with you here, which is not a surprise, or which may not come as a surprise if you actually check the website, which I know that you do. I'm in touch with the folks at Pony Canyon, so I don't have any problems with copyright strikes when I review their music. In this case, Shunichi Toki is from Pony Canyon, so I don't have any issues whatsoever. So you can suggest songs by Shunichi Toki for me to review at any given time. And you mentioned something that you are wary of the fact that sometimes you may suggest, or you can happen to suggest songs that may get copyright struck. You do not know, I do not know. So how does this work? You suggest songs for me to review. I need to check if those can be reviewed, especially if the CDs exist, available for, let's say, on streaming platforms legally. Or if the artists I actually enjoy, if I have their music to begin with. Then I need to choose which songs to review. I already talked about this, so I'm going to keep these shorter. And I end up creating the reviews. I review the songs, and it happened once with me. I reviewed a song by Eclipse from the Visual Prison franchise, which is a franchise that I openly said that I'm not a fan of, but I love Eclipse's songs. It's the only band that I love the music in that franchise. And I was reviewing a song by Eclipse. I don't recall the name of the song, but I was reviewing a song by them, and I put the video on the channel, and I instantly, I'm not kidding you, I instantly got copyright striked by Aniplex Plus. It was instant. It said, your video can't be watched in 99% of the countries that follow your channel. And I was, well, in which countries can anyone actually see this video? Japan. So, you don't know, I don't know, and I was surprised by that, and I ended up having to choose another song, to record another video, and it was already, I had a couple of days left to put that video for actually everyone to watch. And I remember that I replaced Eclipse's video with Esmeralda from the Light Tribe franchise. And thankfully I had Rock to replace with Rock, because it was really messed up. Aniplex Plus will instantly block you. No kidding. And recently I was working, and if you do not notice that on the channel, there's now some CD review episodes, which is to say some bits that I take from the monthly review episodes in which I talk about specific CDs. So I decided to create episodes only about those CDs for fans of that specific seiyuu or group to watch. I created one about Toshiki Masuda's Here or There, because I was talking about that CD and I was talking about that song, and I created a video about that. I put a bit longer the preview of the song from 30 seconds to 1 minute, and the video was instantly blocked by copyright. I couldn't even post it. it was saying that if I post it, I was going to get my channel taken down. So, we are talking about Toys Factory, which is to say Sony Music. And I don't usually have problems with Sony Music because you can see I can use Sumasaito's music in a video or share snippets of music videos, and I do not have any problems whatsoever. But with Toshiki Masuda, I had problems. So there's no knowing which songs or which artists are going to hit that copyright strike. So my suggestion to you is to participate as many times as you want, because I will have to check the songs, choose the songs, and then see if those hit the copyright. So it's basically my job to check those things, but it is a bit unfair in a way to get copyright struck, because I was reviewing a song, and according to fair use rules, I can review a song, but the video can't be all about the song. So if I review a 3-minute song, I have to ensure that the video is at least 10 minutes long. And the video was long, but still got copyright struck. So there's nothing to do about that, simply. But yeah. What would you have in here? ML, hello. I was blabbering here, but hello. Actually, we have a comment by Ginny. Honestly, yeah, the way that they Japan-centric Aopella made me sad, because they take too long to upload the MVs. Also that the MVs, then they used to upload the MVs almost at the same, let's say, basically on the day that the CD was released, or even a couple of days before, but now no longer. It's weird. Ao says, I'm especially interested since I just checked the Aopella YouTube channel and they released voice dramas just yesterday, but I barely see the music videos there. Weird planning indeed. It is crazy, their planning. I don't understand it. I've said it a couple of times before. If I was managing a franchise like this behind the scenes, I would ensure that first I would put myself in the fans' shoes, because let's see, what would I as a fan want to see? I want to see the project. I want to listen to the music. I want the music videos to drop on the same day that the CD is released, because that's even the standard when it comes to releasing music. You release music, the music video is released on the same day to basically make people want to go and purchase the CD. That's how it worked, you know? So it is really weird how they are planning things, so I do not understand at all. And yeah, Aniplex Plus is awful in that. Nothing against them, because I wanted to review their music from the Bandia Rose franchise, for example, and I can't even share 1 second of a song. It's an instant copyright strike. It is crazy. And I don't know how some channels have their music, because I got a copyright strike instantly. So yeah, Aniplex, when it comes to Eclipse and or any of the Visual Prison music, or any of the Bandia Rose music, or even any of the Toshiyuki Toyonaga music, when you released music under Aniplex Plus, I can't show it at all, because they do not even allow it. So it is crazy, really. Ao says, Tokishun's channel recently started releasing mini playlists of his songs that I can access from outside Japan. So I think they will be good as recommendations. Yeah, Shunichi Toki is a good recommendation. As I said earlier, I'm in contact with Pony Canyon. They send me usually press releases, so I am in touch with them, and they do not have any problems whatsoever with that. They even shared the music videos with me, which they didn't need to. So we have that in here. You can suggest any music by any artist from Pony Canyon, really. There's no issues whatsoever. Tokishun fits there because he's signed to Pony Canyon. ML says, the one and only good thing about that copyright strike is that it made me find out about Enlight Tribe. I like it, ML. I like it. That's a mood, really. And thankfully, it worked in some way. So, yeah. So, we have that in there. Let's check the other comments that we have in here. Yeah. So, yeah. What we have in here? What about those videos that get copyright? Can be uploaded on another platform, like an archive or Patreon? And welcome, that's a good question. I could share those on Patreon. I still have that video edited, if I'm not wrong. I still have the Eclipse video. I edited it so well. I was talking about how I was seeing gargoyles and really churches and all the shebang. I even got to search for gargoyles to put on the video and showing what those were and everything. It was a crazy video, really. I created it. It took a lot of time. I posted it and copyright strike, so it was tricky. I may explore that, but I believe that Patreon will still have copyright rules in some way. So I can see if that works, and if it works, I may share that on Patreon for all patrons. So the basics from $1 to every dollar that you want to give. So I may share that there. So that video, oh, it's awesome that I actually ended up being frustrated that I didn't get to share that Eclipse video, and you actually saw the Esmeralda and you find that group through that video that I was not supposed, or I was not going to share, because I thought that, well, I'm going to share a little bit of everything. I'm going to bring rock, pop, jazz, EDM, and I'm going to share really popular and non-popular seiyuu or groups, but I felt that Enlight Tribe is so niche that no one besides myself is going to enjoy that, because I was really crazy about them, and I still am, although I have their music to review from last year. But I felt that not many people are going to enjoy these, but this is such an imposing, mesmerizing performance. This is the perfect song to replace Eclipses. And actually, it's good to see that at least 2 people here on the chat got to find the Esmeralda, thankfully, because I got a copyright strike by Aniplex on an Eclipse video, and I got to replace it with Esmeralda. So good things come from unexpected things, so that's there. And yeah, Genie, from that time, I believe, I don't recall the name of the CD. I would have to check on Spotify. But there's a couple of CDs by Toshiki Toyonaga that he released when he was part of Aniplex Plus. Let me check on Spotify. I'm on mobile because otherwise my PC will break down completely. The setup is massive. Toshiki Toyonaga. So you are seeing live search, so which is really, really fun. But yeah, The Day You Laugh, I believe it is Toshiki Toyonaga. Let me check. I believe that CD in specific. I cannot even touch that CD. Yeah. If you check, for example, Toshiki Toyonaga's Spotify profile, you do not have most of the CDs that he released prior to actually creating his own music label. You can assume that besides Music of the Entertainment, you cannot touch any of the music, which is crazy. Crazy, really. So you cannot touch any of the music from that time, which goes to say that you need to be really wary of Aniplex Plus. So whenever I see that a project or seiyuu is signed to Aniplex Plus, I get really worried, because there's a high chance that I'm going to enjoy that artist or project, because usually they tend to veer more towards rock. But then I know that I cannot talk about it because, well, they do not let me share the music, so there's a problem in there. But yeah, yeah, Genie, I saw that. I saw without sound the music video of Contrail. I'm excited about it. I do not know how it sounds. I'm really excited about it. It's one of the things that I'm most excited about it in this month, and that's because that CD arrives this month. It's one of my favorite singers among male seiyuu. Chiba is actually turned into one of my favorites in the past couple of years. You know very well that I was not the biggest fan of his a couple of years ago, but I've grown to love him a lot. And also, that CD releases one day before my birthday and Chiba's birthday, so it is a treat for me. I get a birthday present with Contrail, which is really, really exciting. And yeah, and welcome. Terashi Majunta is a cultural treasure in Esmeralda, really. You listen to him singing with Growth, and he's mesmerizingly impressive. But with Esmeralda, that's a whole other level, really. I believe he's so underrated, to the point that people don't pay much attention to him, and I believe that he was releasing music with a music label, but since then he has created his own label, so he's now an indie artist, really creating music at home and sharing music on his YouTube channel. It's a concept that is a bit different, and it pains me a lot to see such a talented singer not having the possibility of reaching more people and to stay so indie, so small, and not many people actually noticing that he's a really good singer. He's a genuinely good singer, and his technicality in Esmeralda is mind-blowing. I believe he's one of those singers that you may not be expecting much from him because he's so quiet and calm in an event, but when he grabs the mic and starts singing, you stop and listen. He's really, really that good, live or in recordings. So that's one of the things that I love the most about Junta Terashima. He's really, really amazing. So yeah, when it comes to the rest, and these, let's check now the rest of the comments that we have here. Ginny says the Uchida siblings are collabing. Yeah, I saw. I still haven't written the news on the website, but I've mentioned yesterday in the news that Yuma Uchida is going to release a digital single. He's going to collab first with his sister, Maya. It's going to be crazy. Both have so much energy. It's going to be bonkers, really. It's going to be bonkers. I'm seeing a bit of buffering here on the live stream, so let's check if this doesn't go and doesn't mess up the live stream. So continuing, it's good to see the Uchida siblings actually getting together and doing something. A shared single and a live show. It's going to be really crazy to see, and I would love to first listen to both singing together, although this may have already happened in an anime. I'm not really sure, or if this is the very first time, or if this has already happened before. So yeah, I'm quite excited about that, and I look forward to seeing what they cook next, because they are going to release a joint single, and I'm going to review it. So this is going to be the first time that I review a single with a female seiyuu in there, actively seiyuu artists. So it's going to be interesting. They are, I love their energy, Ginny. I do love their energy. I tend to say that they are almost like a shot of energy in an early morning. You see a video of them together, or even each of them in their music activities or in events. They are crazy and they are filled with energy. I do love that about them a lot. It puts a smile on my face when I see people genuinely having fun, and it is so hard for some seiyuu to be genuinely fun in front of the camera, that I love to see their interactions and the way that they act in front of the camera. So yeah, I'm quite excited about that. So let's see how it goes in the joint single. Then I will be back to the chat. Let's go to the questions again. We have a question here by Kuro P. Hello. Hi, I'm often a lurker on the channel, so apologies for not being active. You do not need to apologize. I'm also a lurker in channels that I love a whole lot. It's perfectly okay. You do not need to comment if you do not feel like commenting. It's perfectly okay. So do not feel pressured to actually leave comments if you do not feel okay leaving comments. It's perfectly okay. So Kuropi says, I wanted to send a message to say thank you for the content you create. You've shared with us how much time and effort it takes, and I believe I'm not the only one who admires what you do. And I have a question. Which 2D music project, from the ones that started in the last couple of years, do you think should have gotten a second chance, and why? Thank you for your hard work. Good question, Kuropi. First thing that comes to my mind is perfection noise. Some of you may be watching this video and thinking, what is perfection noise? I believe that's the reaction that most people have when I say perfection noise. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the franchise, a pity that's only released one solo CD per member and released an OST CD with all the instrumentals. It's a pity. I saw potential in that project. I saw potential in that lineup, which is crazy. That's one of the lineups that I was the most excited about. because that's Shoya Chiba, Soma Saito, Ryohei Kimura, and Kaito Ishikawa. Besides Kaito Ishikawa, who I don't feel is a really good singer, but he does really well in the projects that he is a part of. The project has 3 amazing singers, and Kaito Ishikawa is actually improving a lot. So let's say 4 good singers, projects with problems in the mixing. It happens, it's common, and especially with projects with smaller budgets, that's even more common. But I felt that project was really missing just the attention. I watched the project basically fade away silently, which is sad as hell. I saw something like a project appearing and disappearing with the same or even less attention that it got. It's really weird, and I'm not really that big of a fan of how it ended up going. Let's see, we have these blocking a little bit. Is these blocking a little bit? Let's check. Oh, freezing. Are we freezing? We're frozen. Are we frozen? I believe we are frozen. Let's check. Is this working? Is this working? Let's check. Yeah, noticed. Trying to fix it. Oh, you are getting the sound but not the image. Okay. So let's see if the image is actually picking up. Getting the sound but not the image. If you're getting the sound, I will continue to talk about, but the image is actually not following, I believe. Yeah. The internet gods are not with me. Well, let's check. The sound is okay? Are we okay? I believe we are okay now. Maybe. Are we back? Whew. Finally. So let's continue. Where was I? We were talking about Perfection Noise. So I'm not a big fan of how the franchise appeared and disappeared quickly. It was sad to see that happening. It was really frustrating to see such a lineup fading away so fast, and seeing that people didn't give it a chance. It's so weird how I know that Team Entertainment is not the biggest or the best music label to post music, and yeah, of course. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of how the project appeared, disappeared, and people didn't pay that much attention to it. And I feel that the project had a lot of potential to actually be massive. People just needed to give it a chance. People gave a chance to Versus Ambivalence. People gave a chance to Tokyo Color Sonic, which are really niche projects. But why didn't people give a chance to Perfection Noise? I don't get it. It's about idols. They are fancy. The music is good. The art was not really that bad, although I don't pay much attention to the art. But the music was really good. The lineup was amazing, and poof, they disappeared. So I can't do much about that. I'm a bit frustrated, but yeah. Yeah, the name was Perfection Noise. Noise. Yeah. You have an article on the website about perfection noise, and I've talked extensively about perfection noise in some of the end of the year features, and it was really a nice project. It had everything to work well, and it didn't. So yeah, we don't know what happened, why it happened. That's life, I guess, but it is really sad that it happened. So yeah, it's still something that for me pains me a bit to see a project that I was, and I've said this before, usually when I fall in love with a project, it disappears really quickly. So I'm really scared about liking or loving a project, because that happened with Bandeira Rose, it happened with Yomerocast, it happened with Ready Project, it happened with Perfection Noise. That's a lot of projects going away so fast. So yeah. Oh, ML, you have the songs on Spotify. You can still listen to those and in some small way still support the project. It's so good, the project. It is a pity that I didn't get to cover it as much as I wanted back then, but I feel that I need to talk about that project more. And I felt that I was talking about it too much around 2022. To the point that I believe some people were a bit frustrated that I only talked about Perfection Noise. But yeah, it was a project that I really enjoyed, and I believe it deserved a second chance. Of course, there's the obvious. Yomerocast deserves a second chance. Bandeira Rose deserves a second chance. I believe in some small way, even Ready Project deserves a second chance. I feel that there are many projects out there, and you also will feel that there's too many projects out there, and sometimes it is really difficult to find that definitive project that you actually want to follow through from start to finish and actually devote yourself to following it. And there are some people that follow projects on and off, or follow some groups, or follow some seiyuu, so you are not really into the project, you are more into the seiyuu or more into the music or the group. But sometimes I feel that these projects deserved more love and more attention, and the spotlight shouldn't be only on the big projects or the big budget projects, because there are some big budget projects that honestly, in my opinion, do not have any quality whatsoever. They only have hype. And they have the luck that that hype, alongside the fandom that is really crazy about that hype and that project itself, ends up making the project big when the quality of the music doesn't warrant that popularity. You know what I mean? So it's a bit like that. So yeah, I hope I answered this question by Kuropi. So thank you very much for sending it. Now let's go to the comments, and we have here, I said in the comments, thank you very much. Actually, much love to everyone in the comments for actually pointing out that the camera was freezing. The internet gods are not with me today, and the camera may freeze again. So do let me know if that happens. I hope it doesn't happen again, but let me know if it happens. And we have in here, Jeannie says maybe the company went bankrupt. If you are talking about Perfection Noise, they are not bankrupt. Perfection Noise is the same company that houses the Dig Rock franchise, so they are not bankrupt. They just wanted to create a drama CD series, and they felt that the Perfection Noise CDs didn't sell much, so they throw it into the bin, basically. So the company is not bankrupt. They still have the Dig Rock franchise. So yeah, we have in here, ML says, Ready Project released a song last year. They aren't fully dead, but there isn't much going on. It's basically that. A bit like how the Bandeira Rose franchise made a collab earlier this year and last year, but the franchise is not fully on. So it's a Walking Dead franchise, if you know what I mean in terms of this comparison. I would love for those franchises to be full on back. The Ready Project franchise had potential, and we all agree that some of the seiyuu in that franchise now are really good singers and are really shining in some projects. A good example is Tetsuya Sumiya, shining in Pionix, or even with Visti in the Paradox Live franchise. We have Yuki Sakakihara, who is basically an amazing singer with a range that is crazy good. Is almost in that Natsuki Hanai range, really, really high for a man, but he sings unbelievably good. He's impressive with the Hypnosis Mic franchise as part of Badass Temple, and he actually impressed a lot with Gambit and some other projects, even in the Argonavis franchise. So yeah, we have some projects that are alive but not really active, and Ready Project, Bandia Rose are good examples of that. We may even say even this year the Yumeirocast franchise, because they are going to release new music for the game, but they are not really that active. It's a pity because I want those franchises back, and I don't have those fully back. I remember I love when you get that rush of following a new franchise, getting to actually follow it since its inception and seeing it get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's something that feels so right. It feels really, really good, but somehow it doesn't. Some franchises like these started and really had a problem